Inside this video right here, we're going to talk about the exact vital signs you need to know to prepare for EMT school. Let's dive into it. Hey everyone, this is the Paramedic Coach, and I want to welcome you back to another video. Inside this video, what we're going to be talking about is vital signs. Okay, vital signs if you're getting prepared for EMT school. But first, if you're new to the channel, make sure to like and subscribe down below. If you are somebody in school or preparing for EMT or paramedic school, this is your haven. This is where you want to be. First, we're going to talk about blood pressure. Now, we take a blood pressure on a patient by placing a cuff. Okay, placing a cuff right here on the patient's arm, and it's gonna be a pulse point right here. Okay, I can feel mine right now as I'm doing it right here. And you're gonna put the scope right over that pulse point. You're gonna pump the cuff up, okay, usually to about 200. Then you're gonna let it go, and you're gonna listen as it goes down. And that's gonna be your top number. The bottom number of the blood pressure is when the sound you hear goes away. And the normal blood pressure in a patient is going to be, by the textbooks, 120/80, 120/70. Now, any patient with a blood pressure below 90 would be considered hypotensive. So under 90, they're hypotensive. Hypo means not enough. Tensive has to do with the constriction or dilation under tension. Think about it. The vasculature, okay? So, hypotension is going to be low blood pressure. Okay, think pressure, think tense, tension. Okay, now hypertension, okay, whatever textbook you're reading or literature, in my view, someone has a high blood pressure when they're 180/90, 200/100. That's really high. Now, high as far as prescriptions, somewhere about 140/90. Somewhere around 140/90. That's a little too high. Now, let's talk about the normal pulse or heart rate of your patient. So that's going to be between 60 and 100 would be normal in an adult. Now, someone below 60 is called bradycardia. Bradycardia. Bradycardia is, I want you to think about it, okay, it's a slow heart rate. Now, does a slow heart rate always mean bad? Not always. If someone, like me for example, I'm a big runner, okay? So someone that runs a lot, they might have a slow heart rate in the 40s or 50s, but be really healthy, okay? So the only time that a low heart rate is bad is if they're symptomatic. Then it's bad, okay? Now, next thing we're gonna talk about is tachycardia. What's that? A heart rate over 100, okay? So 100 to 150, you're going pretty fast. Could be anxiety, could be pain, could be stress. If you're working out, your heart rate's gonna go up over 100, right? So pain, fever, anxiety, those are some of the common things, right? What else? Well, your heart rate will also go up if you're dehydrated. Now, a really high heart rate, we're talking 170, 180, 190, 200, okay? That's really high, that's life-threatening high. So next we're gonna talk about the respiratory rate. And what that is how many inhales and exhales, okay, you take inside of 1 minute, and that would be a full breath, okay? So that's what it's counting, okay? How many of those do you take in a minute? So here it is. The average human is gonna take 12 to 20 as a respiratory rate. Now, if you are like doing 6 or 8, that is not good, okay? That is hypoventilation. If you are over 20, you're hyperventilating, you're going too fast. Think anxiety, and then think someone who is in respiratory failure. So my hope is that illustrated the difference between the two, okay? Now the last vital sign we're going to talk about here, those final two, is going to be pulse oximetry and blood glucose. So the average blood glucose level is going to be somewhere in the body, could be between 70 and it's somewhere around 120, 130. It's going to be kind of where you want to hang out normally. Anything higher than that is going to be very high if you're hanging out there. Anything over 200, 300, 400, 500, very high. Anything under 60 60 to 70 is kind of our gray area. Anything under 60 is going to be very, very low, like too low, like life-threatening low. Those patients need sugar to bring their blood glucose up. Now finally, it's going to be SpO2 or pulse oximetry. With SpO2 or pulse oximetry, what that's measuring basically is how well is oxygen getting onto your red blood cells? How well is that exchange occurring? How well is your body taking in oxygen? What's your oxygen saturation? How well is your body bringing oxygen? Okay, so 94 to 99% is where we want to be. Pediatrics might be, for example, like 100%. Okay, now if you're a smoker, COPD, or somebody that is having a problem bringing in enough oxygen, it's going to be low, under 94%. Our job is to use oxygen devices or nebulizers or face masks or nasal cannulas, okay, to get their oxygen back over 94%. That is the reason why we give oxygen. Not because they're having a hard time breathing, because we need to get their oxygen level up. Other things, or we got to figure out why they're having a hard time breathing. You follow me? Okay, awesome. Now, if you're watching this video and you're getting prepared for EMT school, or right now you're in EMT school, you're about to start paramedic school, maybe you're studying for your NREMT boards. Down below, I have a link in the description to my paramedic coach course with the brand new NREMT Accelerator program. It's right down in the description. You can see all the research and student testimonials about our program. There's 3 types of people that I made this program for. 1, you are preparing for EMT or medic school. Number 2, you're a student who's trying to pass school on easy mode. Or number 3, you are a student who's gotten through school, but you're now studying for your NREMT or NREMT, AMT, or NREMT paramedic boards. So all provider levels for your boards inside this program. And guys, I will see you next time. Take care.
I went through it. I spent the time and money in other areas, and I'm just going to let you guys know that this was everything I was searching for the whole time. The first couple of videos I watched, what I noticed, I just immediately started connecting dots on some of these things I didn't have grasped.